Hi, Cody. Thank you so much for joining me on the Become a Media Maven podcast.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be
Okay,
here.
so you are based in Cincinnati, but you work in Florida tourism. Explain exactly what you do and how you do it from Ohio.
Yes, so I live in Cincinnati. Our business is based out of the Panhandle down in Florida and the southern part of Alabama. We focus on vacation rentals, and we are a digital marketing site. So we're a subscription-based marketing platform that vacation rental homeowners can sign up to market their homes to potential travelers and tourists and guests. We have a lot of people kind of all over. We have some web development down in Texas and out in California, some even on the East Coast as well. But our main hub of people is right down in Destin, Florida, and we have some we call them boots on the ground of our people that work down there, do a lot of videography, photography, local marketing, and sales, and then um, we do in Cincinnati. I personally do a lot of the digital marketing and some of the web design and help with the development there. So a lot of my job's all virtual, but we do make quite a few trips down to Florida, so I can't complain about that.
No, that's nice. Okay, so a lot of your work and activity is in the Destin area. And it sounds like you guys focus a lot on regional and really going all in on these smaller areas instead of just nationwide all over the place. Can you kind of explain why? Because a lot of people they just want to go big and all the way, and you are being super niche and super specific. So walk
Yes.
me through your reasoning for that.
We definitely believe in the niche concept, and there's a lot of big travel sites out there right now, and VRBO, HomeAway, Expedia, Airbnb, TripAdvisor, and some of these sites has been established for a while. They spend quite a lot of money on marketing, and for somebody newer coming into the game to compete with that directly would be very, very expensive. They spend a lot of money on digital advertising, a lot of money on commercials, uh, stuff that as a regular business, a regular company without a very, very, very big funding budget, it would almost be quite impossible to compete with them on a worldwide or even nationwide basis. The next part of it we kind of looked at is where do you begin? Do we begin with homes in California? Do we begin with homes in Florida? Where do you push your marketing? We don't look at the person that's traveling. A person traveling from Ohio to California might not be the same sale or marketing concept needed that of somebody from Iowa going to Florida or Alabama going to Florida. So we thought choosing we call it the Emerald Coast. Our main site's called emeraldcoastbyowner.com. And it's about a 400-mile stretch of beach from the southern part of Alabama down through Cape San Blast, getting towards basically the western side of Florida. Um, Doing that allows us to focus all of our marketing down there. We build our websites around that area. We run our commercials down there, our billboards, and then we can focus our sales there and start marketing to customers who are coming down to Panama City Beach, coming down to Destin, Florida, or Gulf Shores, Alabama, and focus on that group and spend our money there instead of trying to tackle the worldwide concept.
I think it's a really good idea. I mean, I would imagine you're getting further by focusing local than you would by focusing nationwide. And tell me how you are doing this because there's a lot under the marketing umbrella. So, what different things are you doing on the Emerald Coast specifically?
Yeah, we started out kind of more traditional. We did get billboards, literally knocking on doors, and we contracted with a couple of the plane advertisement companies down there that fly banners literally up and down the beach. And doing that stuff, we work with guys that have very big social media followings down there, kind of just to help get the branding and get the name out. So that was kind of like a phase one. We wanted to get visuals so people start getting used to our logo, start seeing our name and recognizing the brand. But we also kind of backed into that with the digital side of we built our website focused around this, where we built specific pages on the site for each city, even down to each community. We define a community as like a condo complex or a neighborhood that has the same style homes, the same style properties. We want a website, we want a page on our website about each of those condo complexes. So we can then work with that page specifically to start ranking for terms in search engines like Google, specifically for those condo owners. If they have a condo in the shores of Panama, we want a page about the shores of Panama, so we can market that page and try to rank that page in Google for people specifically looking for the shores of Panama. Um, we kind of began to back away from, not away from the community aspect, but start to get bigger and start targeting the whole state terms, such as Alabama vacation rentals, Florida vacation rentals, and city level, like Destin and Panama City Beach, just because they're a little bit bigger of a target. So once we kind of built the groundwork with the community basis, we backed into really hitting the city levels hard and expanding our pay-per-click, our Facebook marketing efforts, and getting into the dynamic marketing.
So how long would you say it took for you to do all of the community pages before you started doing the city pages, and then before you started doing the state pages?
It took a while. So with the first site, we literally manually built out, I think it was over 800 to 900 community pages.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so when you say 800 to 900 community pages, would a page be like the same as like a blog post, or is a page like a glorified blog post, like lots of information and images? I'm trying to get it because that's a lot. I'm trying to get an idea of
It
how much
was.
is involved here.
I guess you could think of it as like a glorified blog post.
Okay.
So every property that lists on our site has their own property page, but then that property page lives under their community page, which lives under the state page, which lives under the whole site.
Okay.
So we quite literally, sorry about that.
Somebody wants to rent a house.
we we did. We went down and wrote articles about every single community we could find. We even took drones down there, and we were droning them, getting pictures, creating videos.
Those are the best pictures too, by the way.
They are.
Especially like on a coast. Those are the best.
Yeah, it's like eye candy. People, especially for social media, people love them on the Facebook pages and the groups and whatnot. But we took some time at the beginning. We wrote all the articles, got all the content organized, and then started building the pages, including the videos, including the pictures. And then as the properties list, those get added to the pages as well. So some of them, we have a couple hundred properties in some of these buildings where that community page might have, several paragraphs of content, a video, and then, might have 100 listings underneath it. So they do get bigger. As we got into our newer websites, we started kind of trying to do this dynamically, where we would write specific templates based off the names of the community and the property counts and things about that area that as we add new communities, we could dynamically spin that up so that it's automated. It definitely sped up the manual process there for us, but that was kind of how we started with the community concept.
And it sounds like anybody could, like, this is relevant for anybody in any business. Like, obviously you could go super niche, and then you could broaden out after that. So talk to me about timing. Like, would you do one community page a day or a couple a day? And how many people are working on these pages?
Yeah, I mean, we did several. So we had a group and a team that even before we launched the site, that started gathering all this information. It definitely took a lot of upfront research to literally list them out. We needed to find X, Y, and Z condo complex that's in Gulf Shores, and also what's down in Cape San Blas. And it took a lot of research. So we started with that, and it started with literally Google Docs and Excel spreadsheets of organizing that info, writing it out, and then putting together the game plan of the web design and getting out to the developers to incorporate on the pages. But it was several months. I mean, before we've launched 3 big sites now, and before we've launched all of them, I think almost each one's taken more time to build, just because we're realizing that doing it right and getting a lot of the upfront work done ahead of time before launching it and then trying to fix something is very important. And it probably took us, we probably put 7-8 months into each site before anybody even hears about it.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so talk to me about SEO, because you're obviously spending a lot of time creating a lot of content, but you're not creating for the sake of creating it. Like, you're being strategic, you want it to be found. So talk to me about what you learned, and what maybe you wish you would have known beforehand, and just what people should keep in mind if they are going to implement these strategies for their own website.
Yeah. We went through a lot of learning curves with SEO. We were definitely very thankful we took the time to build out all these pages. It's a lot of an SEO game similar to that worldwide concept of almost where do you begin? How do you decide that targeting the shores of Panama search term is more important than targeting majestic sun condos in Destin? They all kind of are of equal value to us. So we went out and got some enterprise level software that we use that we've been using for about 3 to 4 years now. And it's honestly been great. It allows us to really come up with a game plan on how to track all these different terms for each page. And we're able to assign those terms to those pages on the site and then begin the optimization process of, we want these 5 terms we want to rank for this condo complex. Then we need to make these changes to the page so that the page fits that mold. We spent probably a year literally going through and doing that to every page on the site. And once we did that, we felt what we call our on-page content was pretty good.
And
And so
what tool do you use for that?
it's called Bright Edge.
Okay.
It's just a big SEO software, and we use a couple other ones as well, but we focused on that one for a while.
Okay.
And once we got through that process, we realized, the next thing we need to do is make sure the performance is there. Is the website fast? And so we backed into that and started working with some caching programs that allowed the site to be stored and start speeding up. And then we had to go through and make sure, all our images were sized correctly. Is there enough links on the site? Is there too many links? Is there too many pictures? Is the video slowing it down? So we went template by template and page by page and tried to, speed that up the best we can. And it's at a pretty good state now. We did that with each site, and our speed's gotten up, our rankings have gotten up. And our final piece, so to speak, has been our backlinking strategies of the blogging, like doing this. And we work with bloggers, we hire bloggers and content writers, and we really have tried to focus on events going on in the area and other things related to stuff people want to do on vacation and not just where they want to stay.
Yeah, we have in a couple of weeks, actually. This is a great preview because we are talking with somebody from SEMRush. I use SEMRush, and
Yeah.
we're gonna go through everything SEMRush and how it works. And I'm gonna have him just live on the show pick the title of the show. So yeah, it'll be a good SEO experience. And there's so much more than just keywords. Like you mentioned, there's site speeds, there's backlinks, and backlinks are something that we help our clients with because we're a PR agency. So we earn them exposure in the media. And when you get exposure in the media, whether it's on TV, online, in print, on a podcast, it almost always ends up online in one form or the other. And you will almost always get a backlink. And that tells Google, hey, this person's important because this other site over here is linking to them. So how else do you market the new website? I mean, you talked about the keyword part of it. You talked about speeding up the site. You worked with local media and local bloggers to get those backlinks. Is there anything else that you did to market these websites and get them in front of people?
Yeah, we hit Facebook hard. We took a lot of value in building up our page likes, our Facebook likes. We built a lot of Facebook groups where we have now some of the groups are 30,000 plus people. Uh,
Wow. And you do this for each individual area? I mean, like, does the Destin area have one? And then if you're in Texas, does Texas have one? Different groups?
yes, so we
Okay.
did them on kind of a city level. So we have a Destin, Florida group, we have a 30A group, we have a Panama City Beach group,
Okay.
a Gulf Shores, Alabama group. Some of the groups, some of the cities even have multiple groups, depending on, some of them we wanted to focus on vacation rentals, some of them we wanted to focus on the local businesses. It we found a lot of value in that city level because it seems to be a target when people are looking for a vacation home. They say they want to stay in Destin. Sometimes they don't care whether they're in condo complex A or condo complex B, but they want to be in Destin. So we started really hitting that city level hard through Facebook stuff, but we even actually bought DestinFlorida.com and rebranded and launched a brand new DestinFlorida.com this past year just to focus on that Destin, Florida search term and give us more content about Destin. It's a pretty popular term. I think the term Destin, Florida is searched between 300 and 500,000 times a month.
I can't believe you could get that URL. Like, how is that even available?
It was very it was a very long process. Joe Godar, who started our company, he met with a guy named Anthony Morrison. Anthony's a very famous digital marketer. He sells digital marketing courses. He's very, very big in ClickFunnels. And Anthony had started a DestinFlorida.com a while ago. And we had worked with him on some marketing, but he had his time has been so focused on his courses and training that he got away from working with DestinFlorida.com. And we were able to bring him in as an equity partner in exchange for his assets down there. And we then went out and rebuilt a whole new site on the platform. So it was a very long process, but we're very thankful to have it. And it's been a great thing for us. So,
And not a very traditional way to buy a
yes.
URL, but hey, whatever works. That's fun. Yeah, my my business is Media Maven, but my website is mediamavenandmore.com. Somebody owns Media Maven. They've owned it for years, have never created a website. They're like a teacher or a professor somewhere in Georgia, and they don't respond to emails about giving me mediamaven.com. So I'm just like, this is
It's
odd.
very
Like,
frustrating.
it's a thing, like the buying and selling of the URLs. And then once you actually have like a site and traffic and domain authority and all of that, then you could buy a URL and make a whole bunch of money depending on what it is and what's there.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
that's a whole other conversation for another day.
It
Definitely not
is.
my expertise. So I love these tips, especially when we talk about a new business or a local business and you're competing against bigger fish in the pond, you're competing against national businesses. So I think the big takeaway here is just start slow, start super niche. I mean, niche when I say slow. Go all in the niche, get that, and then slowly build from there. But I find people are just so impatient to do that. So you guys must be very strategic as well as patient.
Yeah. Being hyper focused,
Hyper focused.
picking
That's a
a
good word.
target and trying to be the best in that area before we try to be the best, everywhere. It's kind of been our goal.
I
So
love that. That's great. That's great advice. Cody, is there anything else you want to add that I should have asked before we say goodbye?
um not really. I mean, we're just down here trying to grow. We've been around for 3 to 4 years now, and it's been going really well. It's getting bigger every year. We're up to about 8,000 homes or properties down on the Gulf Coast, and so if you have a vacation rental down there, we'd love to work with you. And we're even working with a lot of the local businesses now, and helping promote the paddleboard rentals, the boat rentals, and all that stuff. So that's kind of what we'll be doing.
I love that. It's one-stop shopping. So you can find them on Facebook at Destin Florida Vacations, on Instagram at Destin Florida.com. We will also link to those websites that we spoke so much of in the show notes for this episode. Cody, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Christina, I appreciate you having me on.